Hi, I'm Diane Brady, Assistant Managing Editor at Forbes, and this is Forbes Newsroom. And I am with my colleague, Zach Everson, as always, in the Beltway. Zach, I feel like we should always just start with the word Trump. How's it going in the Trump world right now? Still lots of news.
It sounds like it's going well for his businesses, at least, and his campaign coffers, or his PAC, I should say. Recently, we got an exclusive that his Make America Great Again super PAC is hosting a $100,000 a person, not even a couple, a person candlelight dinner at Bedminster in September, like mid-September. So this is going to raise money for his super PAC, and it's also going to raise money ostensibly for Bedminster, because you got to figure, that he's charging the super PAC something. So, if you do want to golf with the president, there is the opportunity to do that. It'll cost you more money, though.
Well, I mean, this is a tried and true formula, but who are the people who typically, is it the usual suspects that will, basically can be relied on to pay $100,000, whether they get a sandwich or, fine dining? Who would you anticipate is going to be at that dinner?
Yeah, you'll find some big name Republican donors, I'm sure, some of Trump's supporters. There's also people who may get an invite despite maybe donating a little bit less than that. Maybe they've been a long time donor and they're not in for 100,000. But one of the things we've seen with Trump and just how easy it is to get access to him with money. We had an article last year, I guess, about a guy who stands accused of embezzling money. And shortly after those allegations, he funneled hundreds of thousands of dollars to Republican causes and got pictures of himself with Kevin McCarthy and all these other people. So, we don't know. I not to give away what I'm going to do, but apparently I am going to do just what I said I wouldn't do. But I will, check on social media after that event and see who's posting pictures and see if we can identify who's there. It's a good way to find out before FEC filings are due, which wouldn't tell us for another month or so.
Well, the Scottish side of me feels like I have to stick for a minute with the $100,000 dinner because I'm just curious about the trends. The same way we saw speaker fees really go up in the Clinton era. If you wanted to have a former president come and talk, the price tag went up. It does feel like the average ticket cost for some of these donor dinners is much higher. I mean, I seem to recall 50,000 used to get you a long way. Is this the new baseline, or is this highly unusual to pay that much?
This is unusual. It's not unique. We have seen that price get hit a few other times, but campaigns keep costing more money. Their advertising goes up. It just keeps spiraling upwards. And there's not a candidate in America who wouldn't be hosting this meal if they could get the backers, whether it's any Democrat, a town meeting member in some rural Massachusetts community, anybody would be hosting this to raise campaign money if they could get the people to show up.
And it does not to anyone feel premature given some of the legal difficulties as to whether President Trump would be running again. This is completely what everyone's expecting, is that the coffers must now be filled up again in anticipation of a run.
Yeah, keep on keeping on. I mean, there's no reason to pause any of this stuff. Trump has proved himself repeatedly to be a master at playing out the legal system. So, even if it was a worst case scenario for him and charges were brought, I mean, the odds of anything being settled before the election, 2024, I just don't see it. So, yeah, just keep raising. And hey, money's power. He's able to donate that to some other campaigns, although he really hasn't donated all that much, which has been a concern of other Republican candidates, that Trump's sucking in all the money and he's not sharing it. But that's Donald Trump. They knew what they were getting involved with. So, we'll see. It'd be interesting to see who does show up there.
Well, and give me some sense as to, I know you do, I call it the Trump tally. That is, in terms of the legal challenges that the former president is facing, where are we this week? What's on your radar? I know things are percolating along for the most part, but any changes there?
The big one's what's going on in Fulton County.
Right.
There are 36 current cases and investigations involving Trump, and that's the one that we really saw some movement on, with Giuliani testifying, and now Lindsey Graham was going to have to testify, but then he appealed. and the judge put a stay on that order requiring him to testify, but they have a very short briefing order for him to explain to the judge why he doesn't want to do it. So we'll probably see some progress in that in the next couple of weeks.